Hello everyone and welcome back to the educational channel. Today we're going to be continuing Unit 6 and this time we are going to be looking at some of the vocabulary. We're going to be looking at grammar and the language functions. So I hope you guys are ready and let's get started. So first of all, let's take a look at the vocabulary items, okay? Number one is bin, okay? So when you bin something, you put it in the trash can or in the garbage can, okay? So bin means to place something in a receptacle in which to deposit trash or recyclable material, okay? For example, can you please bin these papers for me? So can you please bin these papers for me? The second word is disposable. I'm sure everyone now has seen the disposable gloves that we wear or the disposable masks that we wear, right? Disposable means that you use it only once and then you throw it away. So disposable means something that you are able to get rid of or to throw away. So if you take a look at the definition in front of you, it means intended to be used once and then thrown away. So for example, we use these disposable gloves only once. So the gloves that we wear, we use it only once and then we throw it away, okay? Hike. So hike means to walk for a very long distance, especially across the country or in the woods. So when you hike, you walk for a long distance, and also the place where you walk is different from a regular place. It's either in mountains or in woods or in the countryside, okay? So for example, he wanted to hike on the mountains, but the weather was too cold, okay? So he wanted to hike on the mountains, but the weather was too cold. The next word is notify. So when you notify someone, you tell them. Notify means to tell someone that something is happening. So the definition is to inform someone of something, typically in a formal or official manner, okay? So for example, I put an alarm to notify me that it's almost time to go to work. So I put an alarm to notify me that it's almost time to go to work. The next word is usher. In the cinema, you give your tickets to someone. That person shows you where your seat is, right? This is called an usher. He is called an usher. He shows you where your seat is in the theaters or in the cinema. So the definition is a person who shows people to their seats. For example, the usher took our tickets and showed us our seats. So the usher took our tickets and showed us our seats. The next word is sibling. Your brother or your sister are your siblings. So siblings are the brothers and sisters. So for example, Ahmed is my sibling, he's my brother. Ahmed is my sibling, he's my brother. The next word is security. So security means freedom from risk or danger. It is talking about the safetiness of something. When you're talking about security, you're talking about making something safe, okay? So for example, the security in this building is very high. So imagine you have a building that has a lot of, for example, security guards, cameras, and everything. So we say that all of this is the security. So the security of the place is very high. The next word is to reclaim. So when you reclaim something, you take it back. Originally yours, okay? And you reclaimed it from someone, you take it back. So the definition is to retrieve or recover something previously lost, given, or paid. So for example, the people fought to reclaim their land. The people fought to reclaim their land. The next word is recognize. So when you recognize someone, you know them. So you see someone and you recognize them, okay? So the definition is to identify someone or something from having encountered them before. To know them again, okay? So for example, it was hard, but I was able to recognize him. Imagine, for example, you're walking in the mall and you saw your friend, okay? Oh, hi Ahmed, for example, you're saying hi from far, so you are recognizing him, okay? Let's take a look at the next word. The next word is to pass on. So when you pass something on, you give it to someone or you give something to someone else, okay? After you have used it and you are done with it, you pass it on to be used again. So for example, the runner. So if you take a look at the picture, the runner has to pass on the relay. So the relay is the thing that he's holding in his hand. So he has to pass on the relay to the other runner. So he has to give it to the other runner. Let's take a look at the next word. The next word is mountainous. So when something is mountainous, the region or the land or the area has a lot of mountains, okay? So for example, this mountainous region is perfect if you want to hike. If you want to hike, this mountainous region is perfect, okay? Now, once you are done from the words and the vocabulary, you revise them again, come and take a look at this grammar, okay? So, for the grammar for Unit 6, you guys have the question tags, okay? So the question tags are, they turn statements into question. They are often used for checking if the information we think we know is true. So for example, I can say, Ahmed is 14 years old. Isn't he? So Ahmed is 14 years old. I'm saying that Ahmed is 14 years old. I think I know that he is 14 years old. But now I want to make sure. So I say, isn't he? Isn't he 14 years old? So these are question tags. There are two types of question tags. The first type are the negative statements. So the sentences that are in the negative, you need to change it and you need to put a positive question tag at the end. Okay? So if you take a look at the example in front of you, you haven't forgotten my book. You haven't forgotten my book. If you look at the word haven't, it is in the negative, okay? So the statement before the comma is in the negative, okay? So for the question tag, you need to put it in the positive. So haven't becomes have you. It's as simple as that, okay? The next type of the question tags are the positive statements. So imagine if the sentence is in the positive. What does the question tag have to be? So if it's in the negative, it's in the positive. What about if it's in the positive? It has to be in the negative, of course. So if you look at this example right here, Ahmed does his homework every day. Ahmed does his homework every day. So how do you change it? The word does, you simply put it into the negative and it becomes doesn't he. It's as simple as that. However, for the positive statements or for the positive sentences, you need to remember that we have two types. The first type are the sentences that have an auxiliary verb, and the other types is the sentences that don't have an auxiliary verb. So for example, Ahmed likes pizza, and you're required to put a question tag. The word likes is a regular verb. Here you need, for the question tag, you need to put it in the opposite. So if it's in the positive, you need to put it in the negative. So likes is a regular verb, okay? And it's in the positive, so you need to put it in the negative. Here you need to add the auxiliary verb. This sentence is in the present simple, so you either put don't or doesn't. Because it's Ahmed, so we need to put doesn't he, okay? So doesn't, and then you replace the word Ahmed with the pronoun he. Let's take a look at the next example. You study engineering at college. You study engineering at college, and you're required to put a question tag at the end, okay? The word study is a regular verb, right? And it's in the positive, so the question tag has to be in the negative. Very good. The sentence is in the present simple, so it either has to be either don't or doesn't. You have you, so what do you put? You put don't. Very good. Let's take a look at the next example. They answered the question correctly, or they answered correctly. The verb here is answered, okay? And it's in the positive. However, this word is in the past statement, so, right? So it's answered, it's in the past, right? So this sentence is in the past, so you need to put the auxiliary verb of the past, which is didn't, okay? So didn't they. And of course you need to put it in the negative because the sentence is in the positive, okay? So the verb forms that you guys can have, okay, what are they? For verb to be, if the statement has verb to be, the auxiliary verbs are am or is or are. For the question tag, it can either be in the positive or in the negative, so it can either be am, is or are, or it can be isn't or aren't. For the present simple, if the sentence is in the present simple, you have the auxiliary verbs do or does. And for the question tag, you can either put do or does, or don't or doesn't. For the past simple, the auxiliary verb is did. So for the question tag, it's either did or didn't. Okay, if it's in the positive or in the negative. For the present continuous, it's am or is or are. The same as verb to be. So for the question tag, it can either be am or is or are, or isn't or aren't. For the past continuous, the auxiliary verb is was or were. Okay? So for the question tag, it can either be was, were, or in the negative, wasn't, weren't. Okay? For the present perfect, the auxiliary verb are have or has. For the question tag, it can either be in the positive or in the negative. So it can be either have or has, or haven't or hasn't. And finally, we have the past perfect. The auxiliary verb is had. So for the question tag, it can either be had or hadn't. I suggest you memorize or you know this table, because it will help you a lot if you know what are the auxiliary verbs for each sentence and how to change them. Okay? Why do we use question tags? Like I said, we use question tags to make sure that the sentence that is said is true. So I want to make sure if it's right or not. Okay? So the first use is if a speaker's voice goes up at the end of the tag, then they need an answer to their question. So for example, he's 17, isn't he? So if you can listen to my voice, the question tag goes up, isn't he? So here I need an answer. So you can either say yes or no. Okay? If the speaker's voice goes down at the end of the sentence, then I am checking that the statement is true or not. Okay? So she's Kuwaiti, isn't she? See, my voice went down. Here I'm sure that they are Kuwaiti. I just want to make sure. Then the answer can be either yes or no. Let's take a look at some of the grammar exercises. So for example, number 1, you need to choose the correct answer from A, B, C, or D. Number 1, you take sugar in coffee. You take sugar in coffee. The word take, or the verb take, is a regular verb and it's in the present simple. So what is the answer? Present simple? It's don't you. Very good. Excellent. Very good. Question number 2, you will remember to talk to Fahad. So here, the auxiliary verb is will, right? So when you change it to the negative, it becomes won't you, or will not you. Okay, so it's won't you. Okay, let's take a look at question number 3. It hasn't rained here today. So it hasn't rained here today. The auxiliary verb is hasn't. You have to put it in the positive and it becomes has it. Okay, very good. Now let's take a look at some of the do as shown questions that you guys may have. They are very young. They are very young. Where's the auxiliary verb? Are. So when you put it in the question tag, it becomes aren't they. Excellent. Question number 2. You haven't been there yet. You haven't been there yet. The auxiliary verb is haven't. So when you put it as a question tag, you need to put it in the positive, so it becomes have they. Okay? Or have you. Very good. You can do it yourself in the workbook, page number 41, exercise number 5. So you can put the question tags and answer the question. Now, let's take a look at the language functions that you guys have. For the language functions, we've said this a lot before, but make sure you write down what you are going to say in this situation, and make sure that you imagine yourself in that particular situation. For Unit 6, the language functions that you guys have are discussing the uses of mobile phones, stating advantages and disadvantages, giving reasons, giving instructions, and share personal experience. You will find some useful language phrases in page number 51 in your student book. So in your student book, page number 51, you will find some useful language phrases, which includes how to give instructions. So you can give instructions by saying, for example, go to da 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 da. Okay? So when you say, for example, go to school, and then after that you can go to the co-op or the supermarket. So I'm giving instructions on what to do. Click on or press. So when you're giving someone instructions on what to do on their mobile phones, for example, you can tell them, click on this or press this. Okay? Another way that you can say is you can tell them to select something. So when you select something, it means you choose something. So select, for example, this option. So you choose this option. Type whatever you want to type. So for example, if I tell you, type your name. So you are going to type your name in. So here I'm giving you instructions on what to do, okay? Return to. So for example, if I tell you, return to home, or return to where you were before, or return to your seats. Okay, so for example, if the teacher says, students, return to your seats. So you go back to your seats. They're giving you instructions. When I tell you also, for example, don't forget to do this or do that. Here also I'm giving you instructions not to forget to do something. Okay, so these are all ways of giving instructions to someone. There are other ways, of course, but these are some of the things that you need to know. So let's take a look at some of the example. Your brother needs help with changing the language on his phone. So your brother wants to change the language on his phone from Arabic into English, for example, and he needs the instructions. So here you need to give him the instructions. What are you going to say, for example? First, go to settings, click on general, press on language, and finally select your preferable language. So if you can see, first go to settings, click on general, press on language, and finally select your preferable language. So here I'm also giving you instructions. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Your brother needs help with Microsoft Teams login. So he cannot log into Microsoft Teams. So he needs your help. So here also you are going to give him instructions. First, type in your email address, then return to the website if you don't have your password, and do not forget to do your assignments. So again, first, type in your email address, return to the website if you don't have your password, and don't forget to do your assignments. So I'm giving them instructions on how to log into Microsoft Teams, and I'm giving them also advice on what to do. All in all, and in summary, in this episode, we looked at a few grammatical items, namely the question tags, and we looked at some of the grammar functions and some of the vocabulary items. I hope you guys benefited from this episode. Repeat this episode more than once in order to gain the idea and in order to grasp the idea, and I'll see you again in the next one.